we are going to do, let's see, has that come on? Checking connection. We're coming on to do a live yoga, a beginner yoga. I'm just waiting for my Instagram connection to come on. And so let's grab our mats. Are you joining me? Yeah? Hi. So yeah, I'm coming on a, what day is it? Wednesday and a Sunday to do some beginner 15-minute tasters. Because a lot of people say to me that they'd love to try yoga, but then they never go to a class. And I think that's so sad. But it's often because you feel so inflexible and the unknown. I don't know why really it's quite a scary thing for a lot of people to go to a first yoga class. So I thought, great, get everybody on here and to do a yoga session with me, just 15 minutes. So if you've got your mat, roll it out, and we're just going to go nice and easy, really gentle. I'm just going to show you the basics of yoga, of hatha yoga. So I specialize in hatha yoga and also in a more dynamic yoga as well, yoga flow. But today we're just going to do the hatha yoga. So hatha yoga comprises of some breathing. So we use breathing technique. We do a mobility warm-up, and then we go into our poses. And our poses, we counter pose. So that means that when we go into a strong pose, we then relax into another, so that we work the opposite side of the body. So when we're doing that, as when we're beginners, we have greater pauses between the flow. Otherwise, we'll do 3 or 4 intense poses, and then we'll do the counter pose as we get more advanced in it. So come down to the mat. If you've got your mat, stretch it out, and we shall begin. So we're going to begin with your hand on heart. I did this one the other day, and I'll just do it a couple of times because I know you can't often get it straight away. So we'll repeat doing this yogic breath for the next few episodes of this beginner yoga, because I want you to get it. I want you to feel it. I want you to take the time to really absorb what you're doing. So we're going to sit up tall spines. Now, if you came on the other day, I was saying that when you're in this position, your back can be not very strong when you just first come into yoga. So sometimes when you start, it's good to use your block, because see how high my legs are? I'm going to sit up, come on to the end of the block, and my knees drop down then. So it's a much better alignment on my spine and allows me to have more flexibility in the hips. That opens the hips. So a much easier posture for me to then go into the breathing, the breath work. So I'll turn to face the front. So I suggest that you either get a block or get that cushion to sit on that raises up through the hips. And then as the yoga process goes on, as we go on, you can then remove the block and see how this more relaxed you become. So let's go hand on heart, hand on belly. We're going to do yogic breath. Relax through the shoulders, relax the jaw. And I want you just to breathe in from the belly and feel the belly expand as your breath goes up and into the heart space. And then you relax. And belly contracts, releasing the air out of the heart space. So just allow that and think that your lungs are a muscle too, so they may be feeling a little bit stiff. You haven't focused on the breath today, probably. So they will be, if you've just been doing your normal breath, we often only use 2/3 of our lungs on our normal breath because we just get so used to doing that. So that's why it's really good to focus on the breath. So inhale and exhale. Close your eyes if you need to and just absorb what your body's doing, how it feels. Try to lose any tension anywhere else. So drop your shoulders, drop your hips, allow your elbows to rest, and just let that breath flow. So, for example, you're breathing in for the count of 4. Feel the pause, and then breathe out for the count of 4. Feel the pause at the bottom. And again, breathing in. Pause. And then breathe out. And that just takes us into what we call grounding, because we've often come from 100 mile an hour outside, external environment, and then we've come into our yoga space. And get your own nice yoga space. Really make it yours. And if we come in racing without grounding, we're not going to really feel what our body needs. And you can feel that the breath starts to become a little bit easier, that the lungs have released a little bit as you exercise them, inhaled and exhaled. And then we'll release. So we're going to go into some mobility work now. You can stay cross-legged for the moment. I think I'm dropping some internet on the Instagram. So inhale over, take a flow. We're just going to move. We're not holding anything. We're warming the body up over and over. So we're working in every direction that we may take the poses. We just warm through every direction. So we're going on for our side bends. Inhale and exhale. Over. Inhale, exhale. How do your hips feel? How does your back feel? Just observe, and then we're going to float. One hand in front, one behind, one hand in front. Growing taller. One in front. We're just loosening that out. Good. Just using that neck. Turn, look over your shoulder. The neck is often a tight area as well. Tight hips, tight backs. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Now you can release the legs out into Dandasana Pose. Dandasana Pose. What I'm going to focus on today a little bit more is the core. Okay, so we want to strengthen the core when we're doing yoga as well. So Dandasana is a great pose to just sit and really strengthen your core. So I'm going to inhale, hold, and sit up tall. So just gently press the hands into the floor. Because another thing that we find is that the hands, the flexibility in the wrists can be an issue as well. So I like to just stretch the hands, the heels of the hands, open the fingers wide, draw back your toes towards you. So you're pressing your backs of the legs gently in towards the mat. And we're sitting up, we're breathing in. Can you feel that in the core? Breathe in and breathe out. That's Dandasana, your seated pose. Okay, we're going to move it now into some mobility again, because we're going to move it because we're not 100% warm. Inhale, rise. Exhale, over. Slide back. And stretch and open the chest. Look up. Inhale, Exhale, forward, slide back and open. So we're really opening the chest. So by opening the chest, you're allowing your breath to expand to and down and back and reach. So from there, I want you to bend your knees and take hold of your heels. Place your chest on your thighs, okay? And on this, because some people have really tight hamstrings and aim just to get full out, touching the toes, it can be quite a tough pose to just go straight into that. And often many people can't touch the toes. So I like to do it like this. So take your legs out, keeping your chest on your knees, okay? And then when your legs want to leave the knees, that's as far as you need to go. So you always keep your chest on the knees. Now that might mean you're here still, but that's where I want you at the moment. So just wherever you are, and your legs and the chest stay together, then just relax the head on your knees so that your whole spine is still relaxed. It's not tense, it's not overstretched. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. And then if you want to, and you can then release and go a little bit further. That's the easiest way to get into Paschimottanasana. The other way that we do it is to just tip forward and hold where you feel comfortable there again. But sometimes I see people really trying and bouncing to get there, and we don't do that in yoga. You breathe in, you breathe out, you slide, your chest comes down, you relax. Then you breathe in, breathe out. And like I said, your stretch might be enough there. Beginners often are. That's enough. You can feel a pull down the back of the legs. You can feel the pull through the spine. And that's great. But what we want to do is that first opening breath, we attach that breath now to our moves, to our asana. So breathing in, breathing out, and the more you relax, the more your body allows you to move and melt into the pose. So breathe in, breathe out, wherever you feel comfortable. We're just going to go for 3 more rounds of breath in Paschimottanasana. Nice inhalation, exhalation. Just body scan the rest of the body, see where you're feeling really tense. You should feel the majority of tension in the back of the legs and the back. The tension is like a stretch though, okay? So you shouldn't need to have any tension in your shoulders, in your head. Just take all that out. Don't waste any energy and tension. And then slowly bring yourself back up, because that's quite an intense stretch there. From there, we're going to just flip over onto cat and cow now and work the core in that way. So I want you to stack your knees underneath your hips and your shoulders over your hands, and want to think quite animalistic about your position of your hands. Think that you're opening those hands and they're not squashed together. You're making big handprints in. And again, sometimes there is a tension in the back of the wrist and the forearm, and people often say that they can't place the hands out wide. Well, I want you to just do that. If you find it uncomfortable, just rock into it and release it out. So don't hold it there all the time. Just rock into it, hold, and then release back if you want to, if it's too much tension on the wrist. But from there, we're holding, we're pushing up, opening the shoulder blades. And we're breathing in, we're lengthening the spine, tailbone to the crown of the head. And holding there in a nice strong horse stance. Now engage your core muscles, your tummy, by drawing in tummy muscles. 100% pulling tight and then release them out, so the 30%. And that's how your core should be feeling when you're doing any of these yoga plank positions. So we're breathing there, breathing in and out. So from there, I'm going to release into a cat. Open up cat. Exhale. Inhale back into horse or plank. And exhale, open the other way. Arching up through the back. I'm going to inhale again. Exhale into cat. Inhale, horse. And then we're going to slide back with the legs, because we're going to take it into Untitled Chapter, Dandasana. So bringing that back into a plank position. So you can choose, this is a plank here, or we're going to come up onto the toes and hold a plank and breathe. Your gaze, your drishti, we call it in yoga, your drishti is forward to the end of the nose, okay? Or in my case, the bottom of the skirting board. And you're pulling it, keeping that tension in your tummy, 30%. Breathe it through. So you should be able to breathe it through. And we're just holding for about 15 seconds, but we count breaths in yoga, so 3 breaths. And then release down. And then we'll come into our restorative pose, which is extended puppy pose. Just let your head rest, your elbows rest. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So there we had the pose, asana, and then we've got the counter pose here. We're breathing through. We're coming back again. Should we try that again? We're coming into, so either a half position, so take your knees back, so you're holding, or you turn the toes under and you go full plank. Hold and breathe. Breathe, breathe. Hold, good. From there, you have the option to drop the knees and then slowly lower your heart to the floor, or you come in resisting down in full plank as we hold and hover, or knees down, and then place the chest on the floor. Release, and we're stretching it the other way. So turn the palms on, the palms over, and as if you are just stretching, lengthening the chest forward. You've got a beautiful tummy stretch there. Breathe in, breathe out. Just let go of your tummy and let it melt into the floor. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Nice tummy stretch. Just rocking a little bit. Can you feel in your back anywhere, any tension as well? Keep lifting the chest, placing it on the wall in front. Attaching that breath again. And then we're going to bring it down and hold it there. Just turn the head, just releasing that back. Let the back relax, the tummy sink into the mat. We're just going to try a little bit more on that. I'm going to bring Salabhasana pose. You're bringing your arms back here and lengthen the core. And you're going to just lift in the chest and draw the shoulder blades together a little bit as we hold palms facing the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. This is another great one for detoxification. You're massaging your internal organs. So you're massaging the digestive system here. We're breathing in we're breathing out. Can you feel that all in the digestive system? Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Let's bring it up, push back, stretch back in extended puppy pose again, just to take that pressure out of the spine. Excellent. Good. And from there, we're going to take it into a nice down dog, Ardha Murkhasvanasana. So keep the fingers spread wide, pushing up. And like we did the other day, if you feel that your tailbone isn't going to the ceiling because you've got a rounded back, then keep your knees bent. And you should feel nice and open in the shoulder blades, and you're pushing up. Now you might want to just take a breather between that. I'll just show you the options. If you're not getting, so if you haven't got a block, you can keep the knees bent. If you've got a block, you just place it behind the foot, and that takes any pressure off the back of the hamstrings. Okay, so you take that off and just holding it there, and it takes the pressure. You could need two when you're doing that, but that really just lifts you through the tailbone and helps you with the hamstrings. Otherwise, you take it and keep it bent if you can't take it like that. So just breathe it through. Again, it's quite intense, and the strengthening part of that, you might feel like you can't hold it for very long, which is absolutely fine. You're just going for one breath this time, maybe two breaths next time, okay? You're just building your strength up in that. As I say, we have options as well with your blocks, so that's why it's good to have a look before you go, because you can see that we can accommodate people in different ways. So I'm going to bring the legs round now to do another abdominal one before we bring it up off the floor. So you're going to sit with your knees bent, take hold of your hands behind the back of the thighs and lean in. It's a lovely stretch. Just enjoy that stretch across the back of the shoulders as you're stretching that out. Now we're going to do Navasana Pose, which is boat pose, but we'll just do single leg at a time, and you can decide if that's enough for you, okay? Or you can, if you feel strong, if you do other sorts of exercise, then you may feel that you want to go for the full Navasana pose afterwards. So we're going to lift up, take one foot and hold it there. Feel that. So you're balancing, it's a tailbone balance here. And then you bring that down. And then you extend the other one up. Still keeping that stretch there in your back, across your shoulder blades. And you reset down. Now, it's up to you. You're coming onto the tailbone. Bring your feet, suspend your feet off the floor. And then you're bringing it up if you want. Okay. Breathe it through, use your breath. And then if you want to release, you're releasing for your Navasana pose. And that's really intense. So if you haven't done any exercise before, stay with position one. Okay. One. Release there, and one. Otherwise, up, out, and breathe. Okay, we're hugging. We're going to roll back into Applicability pose. So just roll back, give yourself a little hug there. Nice hug. Breathe in, breathe out. Let yourself completely go. Let the shoulders go. I'm going to do one of my favourite restorative poses. It's really lovely to do, and it's called Happy Baby Pose. And if you've got any nieces, nephews, children, you've seen them do this in the cot. So you're going to lift that up and just place the palms of your hands on the soles of your feet And just bring your tailbone down a little bit and just relax and float. That's it. Breathe. So if you've been doing this with me today, just drop in the comments that you've been doing it. If you enjoyed it and you want it on replay, I can send the link over to you. So drop a DM or put it in the comments that you've watched it, or you've done hashtag replay if you've done it on replay. Now, happy baby pose. I like to just sway in happy baby pose. Just move it around a little bit to find out where any tension is in the hips or the lower back. Or you can just hold it in that position and breathe. Okay, and release. So I'm going to roll up, give yourself a little roll up. Good. We're just going to do one more. I'm going to bring you to the feet. I want to do a forward flexion, prasarita, Padottanasana. Gosh, I can't get my words out tonight. You're coming up, you're going to go in wide leg forward fold onto your feet to finish this off. We're just relaxing through the spine on this one. It's a nice one. But I'm also then going to encourage you to press your wrists into the floor and take a little bit of weight onto it so that we're doing some wrist strengthening, okay? Not too much, just a little bit. So I'm going to hinge forward from the hip. Put your bottom on the back wall and place the hands, if you can, down. If they don't come down, place them on your legs here and lengthen your chest forward, tailbone to ceiling. Crown of the head facing forward, and your drishti, your gaze, just towards the end of the nose again. And breathe. So breathe there. So again, if you may not have a block, but if you're not getting to the floor here, which I would have got you strengthening, then you use your block. Place your hands down there onto the block and push your hands in, so you're working the heels of the hands again on that. So we're always trying to strengthen you for the exercises on other poses. So relax down wherever you want on there. Let your head just block. Bring your arms interlocked. Elbows round the elbows now, forward fold, and just relax down. This is really nice. Now your head is really heavy, and it's such a lovely traction, used as traction on your spine. If you just let it relax, allow your neck to go floppy, relax, and it really just pulls through the spine. And on here, I want you to just have a little check if you're rotating your feet outwards, or if you're still making those firm footprints into the floor. Spread your toes, okay? Spreading the toes is really good for foot health. Foot health, it's surprising really, you know, when you, if you're a girl and you're cramming into poorly fitted shoes or those high heels and stuff like that, then we end up with like squashed up toes. So to get those toes and spread the toes is really good for the foot health. It stops you having real problems as you age as well. So just tip forward and hang loose and just rock side to side. Breathe. Take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. And then slowly bending the knees, curl through the spine, each vertebra by vertebra till you come up. Roll shoulders back, heel toe in. And we're going to leave it there. So namaste, thank you for joining me. In yoga, we would be doing some relaxation at the end. But as we've only got 15 minutes, I think it's important to get you to know some of the postures first. We will do some relaxation over the weeks. I'm going to be coming on, as I said, doing 15 minutes, and I've probably gone over because I always do. We'll be doing 15 minutes every, what days did I say? Wednesday and Sunday and Monday, but my time's changed, so do follow me on the grid, on the profile grid, because I'll put my timetables on there and on the stories. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop in the comments anything that you'd like to know more about in yoga. There's lots of things to cover. There's the philosophy of yoga and everything, so it's really quite an in-depth thing and really lovely to do all the elements of it, not just the exercise. Have a fabulous night, and I'll see you on Sunday evening. Yeah, Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. Night, night.